Welcome, everybody. So in this video, another great Python video. Hopefully you're having fun with this. We're going to look at the if statement, if else, and elif. So let's get started. So I've got a couple of variables here. Let's go right here. Okay, num1 and num2. Num1 equals the integer 3. Num2 equals the integer 5. So what I'm going to do is use something called an if statement, which is a conditional statement. So basically the way it works is we say if, and then here's the condition. If num1 is less than num2, if this condition is true, then what we're going to do is we will execute the statement following this, the indented statement following the if. Now notice we have a colon there, and it will actually, when let me actually show you, get rid of this here. Notice after the colon, as soon as I press enter, it indents it automatically for me. Okay? So let me go ahead and put that print statement back in, and what it's going to do is print that num1 is less than num2. Now I'm going to add another statement here, and you'll notice that I'm going to put a blank line, not that we have to, but I'm going to put it right here. Notice that this statement is not indented. So this is outside this if statement. So this is going to be executed after this condition. So let's take a look. So right now, num1 is equal to 3, num2 is equal to 5. And if num1 is less than num2, if that's a true statement, then we're going to print this. And then regardless, this will get printed afterwards. So yes, we can see that is what happened. It printed that num1 is less than num2 because this condition is true. And again, regardless, this will get printed. Let me show you. Let's change these around. Let me make that the 5 and that the 3. Okay, so now this condition will be false. Okay, so let's see what happens. We clear that. Let's run it. Notice this never got printed, but because this statement was not indented, it gets printed regardless. Now you might be wondering, well, what if we indented it? Well, let's go ahead and do that. Let me remove this and I'll just put it right here. So yes, we can have multiple statements here. Can have another statement. I can say print, or don't have to do, we can do other things as well. We can do, we can assign variables, have more input functions, anything that we normally do in our code. I'll just say another statement. So now watch. First of all, let's put that back to 3, that back to 5. So let's make this so num1 is less than num2. We run it. Oh, what happened here? This is always good to do a little troubleshooting. Tell me I got a problem right here after somewhere before this parentheses. What did Rick forget to do? Yep, you got it. I forgot to put that apostrophe there. All right, let's clear this. Let's run it again. There we go. It actually, this time, executed all 3 statements. All right, let's do something a little different here. Or continue this, not too different. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is enter some code and make it so this goes a little faster. Let's talk about this code here. Okay, nothing new here. We have a variable called answer, and we're using the input function to prompt the user, are you at least 18 years old? Y or N. We're trying to ask them, enter a Y or an N. If answer equals Y, so this is a comparison operator, equals Y, colon, then we're going to do this. So if this is true, if they enter a Y, then we're going to print, you are old enough to vote. If this is not true, otherwise, anything else, what's going to get printed is, you are not old enough to vote. And then just to show, remind us that there can then statements outside this if condition will continue with, in this case, this statement is outside the if condition. So let's go ahead and try this. Okay, so I'm going to run this. And I'm actually going to type a Y, lowercase y. We'll talk about lowercase versus uppercase in a moment. And it says, you are old enough to vote. So because I entered a lowercase y, this condition was evaluated to be true. And this was printed. Okay, what if we entered a lowercase n? Let's see what happens. I'll put, because it's really what I'm prompting the user, but well, we'll get there. Let's do a lowercase n. And it says, you are not old enough to vote. Well, what happened is we entered an n, so the variable answer now has the value n in it. So this condition evaluates to be false. So this will not be printed. If this condition evaluates to be false, then we will do what's ever after the else statement. So else means otherwise. If this condition is false, do this, print, you are not old enough to vote. Okay, well, what if we did this? What if I entered something other than y or n? Because all I'm checking for is a lowercase y. Let's run it. What if I put an X in there? Again, it says you are not old enough to vote. And the reason why, the only condition we're evaluating to be true or false is right here. We are evaluating is answer, does the variable answer contain a lowercase y? No, it contains an X. So anything other than a lowercase y, it seems, we'll try one more thing, will give us, if it's not a lowercase y, it's going to be false and give us this. Okay, I said anything other than a lowercase y. Let's try, what if we had an uppercase y? Is it case sensitive? So I've got an uppercase y here. Okay, let's run it. Oops, I forgot to hit enter. Uppercase y. Well, uppercase y is not lowercase y. Nope, those are two different things. So it says false. Okay, you are not old enough to vote. Oh, can we fix that? Yes. Let's see how we can fix this. What I'm going to do is right here, I'm going to put, well, you know, I know they may enter an uppercase y or lowercase y. So I'm going to say or. Remember the or Boolean operator? So if either of these is true, answer equals uppercase y. Okay, by the way, this can be single quotes or double quotes. So now I'm saying if for this to be true, remember the Boolean stuff we talked about in class? Okay, so here's our condition. The or operator says only one of these has to be true for the output to be true, for the statement to be true. So in this case, if either one of these is answer equal to lowercase y or answer equals to uppercase y, then you're old enough to vote. Let's test it. Okay, let's make sure our lowercase y works. Yes, you're old enough to vote. Let's clear this. Let's run it again. How about uppercase y? Oops, again, forgot to hit enter. Oh, that's going to do that one more time. Hit another key on my keyboard. Okay, you are old enough to vote. So either one of these is true, then the statement is true, and this will happen. And just to, again, what if I type n or anything else other than uppercase or lowercase y, then I will get you are not old enough to vote. All right, let's try something a little different with integers. I hope this is kind of fun, kind of cool. Huh? Gives us a little program flow control. We can decide what the program is going to do or what some things we want to do based on, in this case, an input. But let's do something a little different. Let me clear this. Let me get rid of all that. And what I'm going to do is this right here. Copy this. Okay, and I'm actually going to do a \n here to give us a line feed here. But what is all of this? Okay, let's take a look. Okay, right now I have age. I have just set it to the integer 22. Okay, so notice what I'm doing here is I have an if statement. And if this condition is true, so we're using an and Boolean operator here. What does that mean? That means that this value, in this case, age, that this entire thing, this has to be true and this has to be true. In our case, age has to be greater than or equal to 18 and also less than 65. So both of this has to be true. Okay, so right now age is equal to 22. And this is true because 22 is greater than or equal to 18 and less than 65. Since that is true, we should see this here. Print your ticket cost $10. Let's run this, and then we should get this statement here. Excuse me. Yes, your ticket costs $10. Okay, well, let's modify this. What if we put, now let's make this 16. Okay, so let me clear this. So if age is equal to 16, this is no longer going to be true because age is no longer greater than or equal to 18 and less than 65. Yes, it is less than 65. Yes, but the and Boolean operator, both of these conditions must be true for this to be true. For the both of these parts of the input or expression, I should say, needs to be true for this entire condition to be true. That's the and operator that we talked about. Okay. All right. So let's run this. And it said, oh, statement is outside the if condition. Oh, that's true. Right here. All right. Didn't get my little line feed. Your ticket cost is $5. So that's true. So it went here, evaluated this to be false. Then we have this if statement, else if. So else if is different than an else. Else just means otherwise just do this. But if or else if says we have another if statement following the original if statement. Else, check this. If age is less than 18 and age is greater than 10. Okay, so right now, 16, all right, this evaluated to be false. If age is less than 18 and age is greater than 10, is this true? So maybe I should have wrote this a little differently. It says age greater than 10 and less than 18. Maybe that would make more sense. Yeah, let's actually just do that on the fly here. If age is greater than 10 and age is less than 18. Yeah, that makes more. That's an easier way to read it. Okay, are we between these two ages? Is age greater than 10? Yeah. Is it less than 18? Yes. And that's what happened. Printed your ticket is $5. Then it ignores the rest of these because we've already evaluated as this. Okay, then once it meets one of these conditions, it then comes down and we had print. This statement is outside the if condition, I mean, it follows. Okay. Well, let's keep on going. What if the person is 5 years old? Okay, let me clear this. First of all, let's just go through this again. Is this true? Again, both of these have to be true. Is age greater than or equal to 18? No. Is age less than 65? Well, that's true, but this part of it is not true. So this condition is false. So this will not happen. Okay, else if is age greater than 10? No, that's false. And age less than 18. Well, this part's true, but this is not. So again, the and says both of these must be true, which they're not, because age is not greater than 10. So we are not going to do this. Let's go down to this next one. Another else if. Is age greater than 0? Yes. And is this also true? Is age less than or equal to 10? Hey, yes, it is. Age meets both of those conditions. It's greater than 0 and less than or equal to 10. So let's see what happens here. Your ticket is free. So that's what got printed here. Your ticket is free. Okay. What if the person is, I don't know, 67 years old? Okay, so again, it's not between, both these conditions don't meet. It's not between, well, in this case here, age is not less than 65. So this is going to be false. In this case here, age is not less than 18. So this is going to be false. In this condition here, age is not less than or equal to 10. So this is going to be false. Now we are only checking one thing. Is age greater than or equal to 65? Yeah, looks like it. So let's run it now with age equal to 67. Your ticket is free. So this statement got printed. And to show that it is different than this statement, just because you are a senior, maybe. Okay, let's run it again. And there we go, because you are a senior. Okay. Now, we've covered every age except what happens if you're 0, because I said greater than 0, not greater than or equal to 0. So what if somebody's only 6 months? Well, we're going to say they're a year old. But I just wanted to throw this in, this else. If none of these conditions match, if they're all false, let's put in a 0 here. Okay. Then let's see what happens. Invalid age. Okay. All right. So that's a little bit on if and if else and if else if, and we can also include another else in there. So again, it's just logic. We talked about some of these Boolean operators like and or. So we just have to, make sure that our logic is correct. Again, it's going to do exactly what we want it to do. All right. I hope you found this interesting and helpful, and I'll see you next time.